Hello, Miracle Swingers. How are you guys doing today? I see we got 14 people on right now. I'm going to pop into the comments. Guys, why don't you go ahead and tell me where you're from? I'm here in Pasadena, California, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about what I've been working on for years and years. I know you guys have been following me for a long time. Some of you guys are pretty new to the over the top miracle swing. If any of you guys have tried the miracle swing, can you tell me in the comments? I'm just waiting for the last few people to jump on board here before I dive into my presentation. So who do we have here? Jason in Chicago. All right, Jason, have you tried the miracle swing? Have you tried going OTT yet? Love to hear if anybody else has tried it. I was surprised on the last call. Several people really had only recently learned about what I do. Right on. So, Stuart, Orange County, good to hear from you. Hope you're doing great. Well, there's a couple Orange counties. I'm assuming it's right down here in California. So, guys, as we're all gathering in here, I'm going to start in just a second. I'm curious now. Tell me if you can shoot in the 80s. So, if you don't want to type it in the chat, just let me know. Would you like to be able to break 80? That's the first question I want to ask, because that was something I couldn't do for over 20 years, was break 80. And the next question I'd like to ask is, would you like to break par? So I'm not sure if anybody on this chat has broken par. Very small percentage of people can actually break par. And then the last question I'd like to ask you is something kind of interesting. Would you like to go to Jack Nicklaus's house? So I think that's pretty crazy, because when I started this whole journey, I never thought any of those things would come true for me, but they have. So I'm really living the dream. And with that, I would like to start to jump into my presentation here. And this is my new company. It's the Miracle Swing LLC. It's a golf instruction company. If you've been watching my swing evolution, which became the Miracle Swing, obviously, you know, I'm all about improving at the game of golf. But there's one distinction that I'm going to point out to you that's very important. We're also an entertainment media company. And I'm going to be digging into that a lot more as we go through this presentation. Now, as I start, I'm going to show you a little picture here. Okay, now this picture it's a little cartoon. It's kind of funny. Looks like a guy's fishing out in the middle of the ocean. Now, this picture is very interesting to me because it encapsulates the entire presentation that I'm going to be giving you in this one single image of this guy fishing. Okay, now I'll tell you in about 10 minutes, I'll give you the explanation why this picture is so important to the miracle swing. But the thing that's crazy is when I explain this to you, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Why this is such an incredible opportunity. And what it's going to do is open your eyes to how the entire golf industry missed something that was right underneath their nose. So let's move on to slide 2. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is, first, I'm going to talk about the biggest problem in golf. This is what I faced with my journey that some people have been following me since the beginning. 2011 is when I started my YouTube channel. It's incredible how far we've come. But the second thing I'm going to talk about is what my solution was to the biggest problem in golf. Okay. Next, I'm going to introduce you to my all-star team that has come on board to work with me at the Miracle Swing LLC. These guys are incredible. I can't wait to tell you about them. And next, we're going to tell you our plans to take the Miracle Swing worldwide. We're doing fantastically well right now, but now it's time to scale it into a global golf brand. And that's what's terribly, terribly exciting for me, because I'd love for you to be a part of the team. I think you can make an awful lot of money if we do this and execute it right. And we're going to explain our plan of attack to you, which I feel is pretty darn strong. And what's even cooler, as an owner in the Miracle Swing LLC, you'll have your fingerprints on the history of golf. Isn't that pretty cool? Now, one thing that's important to mention is this is a limited offering. We've raised $160,000 so far. We have another $125,000 in the pipeline from this current raise, and we are hoping to close this out before the Masters 1 month from now. But I'll tell you what, if it's not closed out by the time we get to the Masters, I'm doing a presentation at the Masters for potential investors at a big pitch conference with just golf professionals. And I am absolutely certain that this round will be closed at the Masters if we don't close it beforehand. And the last thing I want to tell you before I move on is, if you are an investor that is interested in owning a piece of the Miracle Swing, if you hit a certain threshold, you can come to the Masters with us. We'll buy your ticket. So how cool is that? If you've never been to the Masters, we'd love to invite you to come with us as a part of our Miracle Swing Dream Team. So with that, let's get into my story, who I am, and how I wound up in front of this computer talking to you about my new company. So the problem with golf is hard. Golf is just hard. I mean, my gosh, it can drive you crazy. I quit golf for 4 years in my 20s. I swore I'd never pick up a golf club again. I was shooting a score over 120. It was, I mean, I had just quit counting strokes at that point, and I quit the game for 4 years. Then in 1997, I was living with some roommates, watching the Masters. One of my roommates was an avid golfer. And he's like, Christo, you should come out and play golf. And when I watched Tiger Woods win that event by 12 strokes, I made a promise to myself that I would pick the game back up on one condition. I would always keep my cool. When I had quit the game, it was because I was so frustrated. I was throwing clubs, cursing, and I actually made a fool out of myself. And that's not the way my dad taught me to play the game. So you're never going to see me throw clubs and act like a jackass on the golf course. That was the promise I made if I was going to take the game back up. So at 28, another guy that I was friends with promised to help me with my golf game. So we went out and played a round of golf in Tampa, and I shot 126. He made me putt everything out. I wanted to pick him up, and he made me putt everything out, and I shot 126 at 28 years old. So that's pretty humbling. Now, over the next 20 years or so, well, this is, you know, I couldn't break 80 to save my life. The lowest round I can recall, I shot 83 with my buddy Mark. And when I think back to it, we each gave one another a mulligan on each 9. So that 83 was probably closer to an 87. And on a launch monitor, the farthest I could hit a ball was 250 something. Most of my drives that were solid were 240, 242, 243, that kind of range. And to be honest, I was embarrassed about the way I played the game of golf. I felt ashamed. Okay, so that's the problem that every golfer faces. We feel shame. We feel embarrassed. We're on the first tee. People are watching us. We get super duper nervous. And if you don't have a swing you can rely on, even if you love the game, it can be torture. Now, I'm going to play a short video clip for you just to tell you a little bit about another part of my background that's a little bit different. But I was a professional athlete, and I did a lot of other things before I really focused on golf. And this is just to let you know that, I mean, golf is not easy. So I'm just going to show you a minute or two of this video of me doing some other things that are pretty complex movement-wise. And I think that this is one of the reasons why my take on the golf swing is absolutely unique. So I've always had this fascination with movement, the beauty of movement, whether it's a good basketball player, wide receiver, you know, a great pitcher or home run hitter, somebody who can smash a golf ball, martial arts. All of these different forms of movement are just spectacular and beautiful. And they all have a flow to them when a person achieves a high level of mastery. And that is, so that's the deal, is you have to acquire a mastery of the movement. You have to acquire a flow to the way the body moves. Biomechanics are very specific, and golf is very complex biomechanically, because if you have a couple of pieces out of place, the body isn't going to rotate properly. Okay. And that has to do with the miracle itself. So I'm going to move forward a little bit. Now, I'm going to show you my swing from when I started my journey. Okay. This is the swing of a poor golfer that is a 90 shooter that can sometimes shoot over 100, and on those blessed days can shoot in the 80s. And then I'm going to show you my swing now, the miracle swing. And I think you're going to be able to see very clearly that these two golfers are completely different. So let's watch this before and after of my golf swing.
Smooth.
So, guys, tell me, what do you think about that? Obviously, the first guy playing golf can't even break 90 regularly, but the second player is a guy who can play in the 70s. My lowest handicap is 2.2. I'm still working on getting to scratch. I got to clean up my short game, but that's a world of difference. And I think that 97% of golfers in the world would take my game today. I think it's a really small percentage of golfers that can actually break par. And so I've gone on a journey that I think most of the world of golf would like to go on. It's a journey of self improvement, it's a journey of discovery. But I'll tell you, it's not going to happen for 99% of golfers. They just don't have the understanding of the golf swing to be able to make this journey on their own. So that's why I'm here, and that's to help people. Okay, so let's talk about what I did to change my life. The first thing I did was I switched back to the classic swing. When I was in high school, I took lessons with a very famous golf instructor, and he took my classic swing and he told me, okay, we're going to keep our feet planted. Okay. And then we're going to turn our upper body against a stable lower body. And we're going to swing on plane. Okay. So I was taught the swing in the 70s where you lift the lead heel, where you allow your lower body to move, and then you shift your weight. And that was all taken away from me when I began studying the modern swing. But when I picked up this book, Ben Hogan's 5 Lessons, in it, he says something very interesting. And this is why I started my YouTube channel. He said, as I see it, there's nothing difficult about golf. Nothing. I see no reason truly why the average golfer, if he goes about it intelligently, shouldn't play in the 70s. I bought this book and I haven't looked back. In 2011, I started my swing evolution. Now, would you believe it? In 3 months, I shot a 79. That first year, I broke 80 14 times. In 3 years, I shot under par. In 5 years, I was an ambassador of the Ben Hogan Golf Company. The CEO who knew Ben Hogan called me up and said, how would you like to be a member of the Ben Hogan family? And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Then the very next year, the Golf Channel hired me to swing as Ben Hogan's double in their special Hogan. Isn't that just amazing? Now, the thing that's incredible is I began lifting my lead heel again, using my lower body, swinging in the classic style. I was playing some really good golf, but I was still more inconsistent than I would like to be. I still felt like there were some days when I just couldn't get any leverage on the golf club. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. Have you ever felt like you get to the golf course one day and you don't know how to swing the club? That would happen to me regularly. So I always had to be at the golf course about 40 minutes, an hour before I played to try and see, which way the ball was going, okay? Now, this next video, I'm going to show you the miracle that changed my life that we want to take to the world to change the world of golf instruction forever. So let's just watch this short video. It's a few minutes long, but this will explain the miracle.
Sacred step number 4 is the miracle move. This move is going to unlock your championship potential. I've found the best way for me to be able to continue to rotate is inside up, slightly over, down, and through the shot. This miracle move changed my life. That was as pure as anything I've ever hit in my life. It still freaks me out. I can't believe it works so well.
Hey guys, let's take a look at the top 10 winners in the history of the PGA Tour, starting with Tom Watson.
I figured out the golf swing in 1992. I got tired of hitting the ball fat. I got tired of hitting the ball out to the right. And I said, to hell with it. I'm going to hit over the top of it like this. I want that ball to start straight. So I changed my golf swing right then and there, and it felt like this. It felt like that. But what happened, it was going here and here like this.
So if we take a quick look at Tom Watson's swing, we can see that now he is a committed over-the-top swinger. Next we have Phil Mickelson, one of the all-time greats, and we can see he takes it back to the inside, and he is also an over-the-top swinger. Next is the great Walter Hagen, inside and over the top. Now if we take a look at Billy Casper, we're going to see one of the most underrated players in history with an over-the-top golf swing. Next is Byron Nelson. Look at that move. Arnold Palmer is another great champion. He is also inside and over the top. Now my idol, Ben Hogan, was the one who surprised me the most. Here we see him inside and over the top. Jack Nicklaus, whom I had the pleasure of interviewing in his home, is also inside and over the top. Now that brings us to the great Tiger Woods. Here he is rehearsing his over-the-top move. And although he doesn't have a big over-the-top swing, after he hurt his back, he made a decided effort to swing more OTT. And finally, we have the great Sam Snead, one of the greatest over-the-top swingers of all time. And there you have it. The top 10 winners in the history of the PGA Tour are all over-the-top swingers. And the reason why is because the best way to leverage the club is by going over the top. So guys, I turned 55 this Monday. I was born in 1969. I picked up the game in the 1970s. I've been alive long enough to watch the fads come and go in the world of golf instruction. What's absolutely crazy is I just showed you the top 10 winners in the history of the PGA Tour, and they are all over-the-top swingers. But if you're like me, you probably got brainwashed that over-the-top is bad. Nothing could be further from the truth. So now I'd like to reveal the mystery of the photo, the picture that I showed you at the beginning of the presentation. You see this guy standing out in the middle of the ocean, and he's fishing on what looks like a little tiny island. But if you look to the left, you'll notice that there's a giant fin behind him. This is an image that comes from a saying that I got from the great man, Joseph Campbell. And it's a Tahitian saying, standing on a whale, fishing for minnows. So the entire world of golf is standing on a whale, fishing for minnows. They're trying to do shallowing, laying it off, dropping it under, all these crazy things in the golf swing, when the simplest and easiest way to hit a golf ball effectively is with an over-the-top move. Now, if you do an over-the-top move from the wrong position, the way they teach the backswing nowadays, you're not going to be able to hit the ball well. You're going to hit a slice. Okay, but if you do an inside takeaway the way the greatest players in history did it, you can swing over the top without any fear, leverage the golf club, and start hitting the greatest shots of your life. So we are in a unique position where we can take advantage of this lost swing art and present it to the world. So far, it's been an incredible, incredible success. So with that, I'd like to show you a short promo for the new production. We have a 7-video series. This is our hero product, and it is the over-the-top music.
Well, that was easy.
Do you believe in miracles? Thousands of golfers all around the world are already believers.
I believe in miracles.
Get ready to experience the fastest growing movement in golf. Brought to you by golf sensation, Cristo Garcia, the man who swung as Ben Hogan on the Golf Channel.
The top 10 winners in the history of the PGA Tour are all over-the-top swingers.
You just found something, in my opinion, that was just hidden right underneath our noses.
Today, golfers all around the world are finally discovering the truth about the golf swing.
There we go. How does that feel?
Oh, thank you.
It just looks so easy.
Shot a 69.
Wow.
It's clicked in. So this whole inside over the top deal is just makes it so much easier.
The 7 Sacred Steps of the Over-the-Top Miracle Swing is a course specifically designed to end the swing confusion that modern golf instruction has created. Now's your chance to join the fastest growing movement in golf. Get ready to believe in miracles by saving over 50% off the retail price with our pre-sale at miracleswingexperience.com. You'll believe in miracles too.
Guys, I am so proud of that. A full year of work went into rebranding, recreating the entire business from the ground up. We filmed at 3 of the greatest golf courses in the country. I filmed at Champions in Houston, Texas, which I was just invited by the Burke family to visit the week after the Masters. It's just incredible. We filmed at the Grand Del Mar, the only 5-star golf resort in Southern California, and we filmed on the same cameras that they use to shoot Top Gun 2. This is the highest production value instructional video on the market. I'm really, really proud of it. And I want to thank all of our investors that came on board to help us create that. Greg and Eric, you guys made that possible. So that was just incredible. Now, the next thing I want to show you is a short video of testimonials. Okay. The most remarkable thing about the over-the-top miracle swing is the number of testimonials. I've received thousands of messages from people all around the world, from professionals down to rank amateurs, who are all, their mind is blown. They can't believe how much easier it is to hit a golf ball if you just go over the top the correct way. So let's take a moment, just look at a few of my students. And when you see the joy on their faces, can you only imagine what I must feel like that I'm sharing this with people today?
I'm working on the over-the-top miracle swing.
Look at that. Yeah, I shot a 72 at Balboa, and it was easy.
I'm feeling good. That felt very comfortable.
Right
No
on.
pain.
My club head speed was always like 85, and it's reading 105. What club is this? Yeah. OTT, baby.
Guys, can you imagine how happy these people are? And this one picture of my friend David, he couldn't swing because he hurt his back so much. Now, I'll tell you, one of the last swings that I made before I discovered the over-the-top miracle swing, I pinched a nerve in my back. This dropping it under business crunches your lumbar vertebrae. I hit the ground on my knees, and I was afraid my golfing career was ended. I was like, it felt like somebody stuck a knife in my back. But the over-the-top miracle swing is the way you can play pain-free. Sam Snead played until his 80s. He played competent golf into his 60s. He was in his early 60s and came in third place in the PGA Championship. It's the most effective, it's the simplest, and it's a pain-free golf swing. And we're seeing tons of PGA players like Victor Hovland, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Brooks Koepka. They all do OTT moves, so it works. Now, so I want to talk about a couple friends of mine. These are both people that I happen to know. I've talked to them, taken lessons with them. These are people that I aspire to, okay? We've worked really hard to build our company, and we're ready to get to that next level. Now, George Gankis is a Southern California teacher. He was actually discovered by my team members. He was plucked from obscurity, created a YouTube channel for him, and started his first membership site. So George was unknown 10 years ago. Now he's on the cover of Golf Digest. And last year, I was told he made $4.2 million in online golf instruction. That's pretty darn good, isn't it? Now, the interesting thing is George has a pretty good YouTube channel. He's got 1.8 million views, and YouTube is the primary driver of online instruction sales. Now, 1.8 million, that's not too bad. I have 29 million views. I have over 27 million more views than George Gankis. Now, the next person I want to tell you about is Brixton Albert. He's the founder of Performance Golf. In 2020, Performance Golf made $12 million. In 2021, they made $29 million. Today, you're seeing Performance Golf ads all over the place. They are the industry leader. I have a friend who produces videos for Performance Golf, and he said they're closing in on $100 million a year. They are killing it, absolutely killing it. Now, I'll tell you, they've got great marketers, great advertisements, copy, sales pages, email sequences. They leverage their big teacher names, Faldo, Hank Haney, etc. But check it out. If you watch the over-the-top miracle swing, I've got Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Chichi Rodriguez, Jim McLean, and Jackie Burke. So I have just as much authority in the miracle swing as these guys have, for certain. Now, one of the things that's interesting is Performance Golf, they've only got 17 million views, and they're spending $30-40 million a year in ads. So I've got 12 million more views than Performance Golf. I've got eyeballs. People are watching what I'm doing. Now, let's take a quick snapshot at what I've done to date, okay? I've sold $700,000 worth of online instruction. That is click and buy. There is no inventory. There's no shipping cost. It just goes right into the business bank account. I've sold $2 million worth of golf clubs, mostly for the Ben Hogan Golf Company, which I will be representing the new brand in a whole new deal. We're doing a bunch of big things together. Now, my YouTube channel has 29 million views. That's nothing to sneeze at. But I've bootstrapped this whole thing basically making videos with my cell phone. If you cut me loose, I'll be able to go bananas. But the point that I'm making is I've sold $700,000 worth of online instruction without an advertising budget, without any funnels, without a good email marketer. I've just done this kind of like by accident, you could almost say, because that's not my genius, okay? That's why I have my teammates. They came to me and said, Christo, you are sitting on the #1 golf instruction product in the world with the over-the-top Miracle Swing. You just don't know it yet. I'm like, you really think so? So they convinced me to rebrand. They convinced me to create this entirely new product. They convinced me to make a 7-video series, okay? A course is much more valuable than a single instruction video, and create ancillary products. This is so important. So how we stand out is with polarization. Everybody in golf is telling you, do not swing over the top. I'm the only person saying, swing over the top. It is an absolutely polarizing phrase. It drives people crazy. It's driving clicks on social media. I'm getting millions of clicks a month on Twitter for telling people to swing over the top. So the message attracts attention. Okay. Now, the second thing I want to point out is we are creating a movement. This movement for the Miracle Swing harkens back to the way the great old timers swung the golf club, with a lot more fluidity and grace. And people want to embrace the purity and be a part of this movement because it's bigger than just a swing. We're doing something to change golf and bring it back to the greatness that it once had. Now, I want to show you something real quick. I say that I have a superpower in the world of golf, but the first thing I want to do is show you a short 30-second commercial. Okay, so let's take a look at this.
You guys want to play for some money?
How much cash you got? Because I'm going to take all of it.
Top-tier players expect exceptional performance from their footwear. Square's patented design delivers power and performance shot after shot.
Crushed it.
Come on, fellas, I'm your fourth.
Good shot. We're in trouble.
Squares, the performance golf shoe.
That's kind of a fun little spot. Now, if you watch the PGA or LPGA this weekend on the Golf Channel or on NBC, you're probably going to see these commercials for Squares golf shoes that I made. Okay, the owner of Squares reached out to me to revamp his entire marketing campaign because he said, this year we want to blow Squares up into 100 million plus brand, and we want you to help us with the marketing. So that brings me to my superpower, which is I am the only golf instructor influencer who's made over 100 TV series, films, commercials. My shows have won an Emmy Award, a Peabody. I even won a Best Director Award at an international film festival. I even write novels. Look at my book, Jack Dagger. I predicted the record would be broken last year at the US Open at LA Country Club. No other person working in golf has my background in media. My brother's the vice president of Lucasfilm, for Christ's sake. I can make media like nobody's ever seen. And why am I making media for Squares when I should be doing it for the Miracle Swing? That's what this raise is all about, to give me a little runway so I can do what I do best. And once we get started, nobody's going to be able to keep up with us. Now, listen, the over-the-top Miracle Swing has already sold $130,000. We've proven market fit. People love the product. People are getting better at golf. People are telling their friends. All we need to do is spread the message further. And the only way we can do that is by scaling with competent advertising. Let's take a look at some of the products we have. Over the top Miracle Swing. We've got Miracle Drive. I'm going to be updating it. Miracle Health is one of my best-selling programs. It's outstanding. It's already created. We're going to be creating Miracle Putting, Miraculous Short Game, and Miracle Mindset. And then I plan on building up many other stars in the Miracle Swing brand. Now we have shirts, polos, coffee mugs. The brand is coming on. Our store is dynamite. People will start wearing our logos and be walking billboards for the brand. This is the Miracle Swing OTT checklist. No other company in the world has this. Okay, this is a simple checklist that fits in your back pocket. Each one of the lessons has a QR code that links right to a short lesson video. So you can go through the pictures, bring this on the golf course, and shoot with your phone this QR code and get a short video lesson that's world class. We have Miracle Swing experiences. I am talking to some of the biggest courses in the country, US Open courses, to hold Miracle Swing experiences all around the country. These live in-person clinics are going to be very valuable for our brand. Now, next is the Miracle Swing certification program for golf instructors. When golfers become Miracle Swing instructors, they will be spreading the message worldwide. I can only meet so many golfers in person, but when I have 100 Miracle Swing instructors, that's $500,000 right there just in their registration fees to become a Miracle Swing instructor. But then I've got 100 me's out there spreading the message to other golfers that buy the products and become a part of the Miracle Swing movement. Now, I want to tell you about the people that changed my life. This is Gabriel Ryder, his father, Greg Ryder. They're the ones that sat me down last year and said, Christo, you've got a really great product here. Wow, you've got $700,000 in online sales. That's pretty incredible considering there's no shipping cost. You just click and buy. But we think you're sitting on a 7 or 8 figure brand. Why don't you let us do what we do so we can scale this into the multi-millions? And with that, I would like to introduce my partners, Gabriel Ryder and Greg Ryder. Gabe, are you ready to rock?
Yeah, I'm just going to remove this screen a little bit so I can be a little bit bigger on camera. Thank you, Krista, for having me on today. Thank you for everybody that's joining us and watching right now. This was a vision that came to me, I believe, from God when I talked to Christo and he was telling me about the over-the-top Miracle Swing. And, you know, at first it didn't make sense that he was telling people to swing inside and over the top. But when I saw Sam Snead, Arnold Palmer, Jackie Burke, and the legends of the game doing this, it made perfect sense. And for you guys to have a little bit of my background, I had the #1 golf YouTube channel in the States for about 6 to 7 years. Like Christo mentioned, I'm the one who launched and scaled George Gankis. So when we met him, he had about 10,000 Instagram followers, and he went on to being one of the most famous golf instructors of our time, working with some of the greatest players, being on the cover of Golf Digest, and just being a phenomenal instructor. So I've had some good successes at picking movements and trends in golf. And when Christo told me that he was telling people to swing over the top, I said, like, that's very polarizing. It's very different. It's the opposite of what everyone's teaching. And from a marketing background, that's going to really help us. And Christo's proven that over the last year and a half. It's just a very polarizing statement. He's getting lots of comments and attention on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube about the name primarily, but no one knocks the method, and you can't because it's based off the legends of the game. Over the top is just a very evergreen keyword. I used to be a golf instructor, so what's being typed into the keywords and into Google, into YouTube is over the top fix, over the top drill. And we're telling people, hey, you don't need a fixture over the top. You just need to swing it over the top the right way. And like Christo mentioned, you know, his superpower is to be able to make content. I've worked with a lot of instructors that can't make content. They're not good in front of the camera. They can't speak. They can't navigate and guide people. They're great at teaching golfers in real life, but when it comes to being on camera or producing anything, most of them are just non-existent. So with Christo, the same thing we did for George Gankis, one of my last clients, Porzak Golf, is one of the fastest growing golf instructors in the world right now, hit 100K subscribers on YouTube, membership sites doing phenomenal. We were behind that as well, is they need a team, right? So George never filmed a video, never edited a video, didn't build his membership site, wasn't sending out emails, wasn't running ads. We were the team behind that that made that happen, that gave George the exposure he needed to become a global movement. So no one does this without a proper team. Cristo's just one person. He can't be running a 6-7 man team to really get this to the level that the product is. It gets results. Cristo's had hundreds, probably thousands of testimonials from all across the world of all the people who watch his YouTube videos on the Over the Top Miracle Swing, whether it's taught in his clinics or his personal lessons. So this vision came to me. I brought it to Cristo. He said yes, and we're working on making this dream and vision a reality, which comes up to this next part with my father. My father's been teaching internet marketing for over 20 plus years. He built the first funnel, internet marketing funnel, for George Genkus back in 2016. So my father has had his fingerprint in the background with some of the biggest instructors in the name of golf that no one knows. So I'm about to bring my father on about 30 seconds here, and he's going to walk you through just the overview of how you actually scale somebody like Cristo, who has a phenomenal service, has a polarizing statement on what we're for, what we're against, that attracts, what our target demographic is golfers over 50. And, how we just logistically do that to scale with ads, through marketing funnels, through exposure and everything else. So Greg, can you hop on here for a sec?
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Hey, we got the writer son and the writer father both wearing blue today.
Well, I don't have my Miracle Swing merch. I got my launch cart merch on, but I always like to tell people we got to be sporting our merch everywhere we go. So I'm excited. And I got to say that was a fantastic presentation by Cristo. You have a really fun and hot deal that every time you read your own business plan or every time you hear your own pitch, you get more excited. Because it's like we've been working on this messaging and working on this languaging and working on this storyline for over a year now. And now we're like, okay, let's put the pedal to the metal and let's leverage the season of golf, right? It's spring. Everyone's starting to get out the golf courses. They're opening up. This is the time to do it. So I have a few slides that I want to kind of show, because I want to show from my background, former investment banker, turned digital marketer in 1997, done hundreds of millions of dollars of revenues online. And I really think of myself and our team as some of the top in the world at buying and converting traffic. And I want to kind of show a few slides to kind of lend some credibility to that statement. So let me pull up my screen, and we're going to share this deck right here. So the first thing I want to kind of talk about really is just what's possible. Because for those of you who are out there and you've never seen this, right? You just don't know what's possible. I'm going to show you what's possible. And what makes this so fantastic is the fact that we're selling a digital product, videos, checklists, things of that nature that are delivered online. You have this cost of goods to build the product once, but there's no cost of goods to manufacture it over and over and again, unlike this shirt, right? So that's what enables us to do some things that they're so exciting. So let me go ahead and go into this and show you what's possible. So I teach, and I'm one of these guys that believes whoever can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. And the premise for that is, if I can spend money profitably to acquire a customer, I win. And that goes back to Cristo's reference to performance golf. They spend a lot of money, but generate a lot of revenue. And to give you an idea of what's possible, here's a screenshot of a campaign that we were running ads to with the hot product. You have to have all the ingredients. You have to have a hot product. You have to have good media, all that kind of stuff. But look at this. We spent $1.5 million in ad spend. We got in front of 43 million people. We drove 121 million impressions, and we drove 22.5 million clicks. That generated $9 million in revenues, 208,000 orders. Okay. And this was you can see in the top right, this was a screenshot from January 19 to July 31st, 2019. So we were scaling some e-commerce products. And it even blows my mind that literally in 7 months, you can collect 208,000 credit cards. It's incredible. It really is mind-boggling. And then here's another store showing about what's going on. Here's another store we drove over 2 million visitors to. We had a 2.35% conversion rate, drove $3.3 million, right? And 98,000 orders. And this was like literally, we were selling stuff and we had to stop because our supply chain from China, we had to stop. But look at that. That's like a month's period of time. So when you have a great product, you have a great team, and you know what you're doing, you can scale this stuff. Here's one that we started and launched, and from December 17th to January 7th, we started driving revenue. Now, I want to make this point clear. When we did this, we were spending money. So to generate $2 million in sales in a month and a half, we probably spent $600,000 in advertising, right? It just doesn't show up. Like, you spend the money and you convert the traffic you're buying profitably, and it can just change everything you're doing. So I'm going to show you, go back here. So going back to some real world stats, here is a stat from our testing, our little test market that we did, and we sold 124 orders at a 1.2% conversion rate, and we generate 29,000 in revenues. Now that's no cost of goods. Remember, that's just pure, you're delivering a digital good. You got your merchant fees. But then we did some optimizations. Oops, my thing's gone off. And we optimized a few things, and you can see here our conversions went up to 6.8%. 6.8%. So 1,400 visitors, 98 orders, 6.8%. So by spinning the dials and testing colors and buttons and headlines and things that we're doing is what we do, right? And then that leads to what we call a funnel. So we're buying, let's say, and this is just one example. We're buying traffic from Facebook. We're sending that to the sales page. We're converting people to the sales page. And we use all these tools to measure what we're doing and how we're doing it and track the numbers of the potential revenue of what we're going. And I actually have a tool that I'm going to log into real quick. Let's see if it pops up. See if I get the right one. We have a tool that we use, and again, this is just from an educational standpoint. Real marketers do what we call track and optimize. And if we tell people, if you can't track it, you can't optimize it, and you're probably not going to be profitable, and you can't do what we do. So we use really highly sophisticated tools and things to measure every little click, every little scroll through, everything about this. And then we use tools like this to simulate how much money we can make with what we're doing. And the whole reason I'm showing you this is I want you to understand that this is what real digital marketers do. So just that little screenshot right there, I'm going to hit simulate, and this is going to simulate how much money we would make. So right here is on the right-hand side. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says, hey, we spend $40,000 a month in ad spend, okay? And on this particular model, we're converting, let me see, the conversion rate's 1.22%. So based on that conversion rate and that traffic, we would net $27,000 in profit. That's pretty good, right? Spending $40,000 and netting 27. So we got our 40,000 back, and now an extra 27, so we're at 67,000 in the bank. But when you take that same scenario and you say let's increase that to 6%, which is obviously no guarantees we can do this, but this is what we do. So we go 6.8% conversion rate, and now we're spending the same 40,000, and we hit simulate, and now it runs it and says now we're making some serious profit. It's like we're making a lot of profit. And then we have this little report tool over here, and we go to our forecast and let me just go back to project summary. So we look at this. We can say how much money we would generate, how much money we would generate annually, what our profit would be. And again, this doesn't take into consideration the team and the expenses and things of that nature. But because we're selling a digital product, our profit margins are extremely high. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you, so you kind of understand that we really are digital marketers. We really understand what's going on. And with Gabriel, on him helping and working with Christo giving him, I love what Christo said earlier. It's not his genius. And I always coach, if it's not your genius, it's not your job. You need to put people on your team that is their genius. And when you round that out, that's how you scale and build massive wealth for people, okay? Okay, so now going back to the opportunity. Here's the opportunity. So we're doing a $500,000 offering. We currently have I think it's 50,000 in the bank done. We have indication of interest. We're having documents reviewed, and people are filling out documents. I think for 125,000, pretty close. So we're about 175,000. So we're going to do a total of $500,000. Now this represents a 10% ownership in Miracle Swing. a 10% ownership in Miracle Swing, which basically means we're valuing all this intellectual property and everything that Christo's put together and all this brand equity at a $5 million valuation. So you're getting in at a $5 million valuation. Now, whenever we do investments, we talk about two things: the return of investment, because we know it's important. You want to get your money back, and then you also want to make a return on investment. So what we did is we said, let's put together an offer that is so strong and so powerful, you really have a hard time saying no. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take 20% of the net operating income. We're going to be distributed to you, the investor, on a prorated share until 150% of your investment has been recouped. Okay. So you put in 10,000, you're going to get back 15,000. And once that's done, then you're not going to get that 20% net operating income, but you're still going to maintain your prorated share of your ownership. And I'll answer any questions you have about this. And net operating income is defined as gross revenues minus the merchant fees and returns and the ad spend on the product. So literally, you're talking about maybe 5%. So if we do 100 grand, 5% is refunds, merchant fees. Now we have 95,000 left. We're going to take 20% of that money and we're going to distribute it to you on a quarterly basis until you've recouped 150% on your money. This literally could be in the next 12 months, you get your money back, and it could be 3 months. It could be 18 months. I can't tell you exactly what that is because we don't know how it's going to scale. But we believe there's so many golfers around the globe. This is a global product. This is going to be a very, very fast for you to recoup your business. But we need that capital to put into the engine to drive that train. Then your return on investment from a long-term standpoint is you're going to have your prorated share of profit is going to be distributed at minimum on an annual basis and possibly on a quarterly basis. So Christo and I talked about it, and he knows that as the profits come in, we're going to be reinvesting some of that money back into some of the product extension and the verticals of training the trainers and training the coaches and stuff. But if there's enough profit, we're going to distribute that through the LLC. It's a limited liability company. So that'll flow through right to your prorated share of money. So there's significant upside to this for everyone to get involved. And then you're going to own that equity forever, right? So we're giving you, it's kind of like you're investing your money, you're getting your money back based on income, and then you're getting the long-term ownership of that. Now, what we did is we put together a little form that's like an indication of interest form. And we're going to drop this link in the chat box right now. And basically what we would love for you to do, if you're interested, you go, Greg, I'm interested. I want to put in 10,000. I'm interested in 25,000. I'm interested in 50,000. I'm interested in 100,000. And by the way, here's a little tease. If anyone wants to do 100,000, we have access to tickets to the Masters. We can get you a ticket to the Masters if you're interested in putting up 100,000, and we can talk about that and answer those questions. But this is what the form looks like, and it just says fill out this form with your indication of interest to receive the investment docs. Now, what happens is we have some automation on the back end. You're going to put your name, your email, your phone number, your address, and then right down here where it says subscription amount, you're going to put in 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, whatever that number is. And then if you want to invest from like your LLC or from a trust, you can put your title there. Click the I agree to the terms, click I'm not a robot, and hit submit. The minute you do that, our system is going to fill out the documents and send them to you. Now, you don't have to fill them out. It's not like a commitment where you have to review the documents. You have to make sure that you understand the risks. And with any investment, there's risks. There's no guarantee in life. You could lose all your money type thing. But you have to look at what we call the risk reducers. And the risk reducers are Christo Garcia, Greg Ryder, Gabriel Ryder. The fact that we have a product up and running, we have the website, we have the beginnings of the team. Now the team's going to grow, which the other part of this whole thing is we're going to grow this team so we can continue to scale this business. But with our digital marketing skills, we really believe this could hockey stick really, really fast. But this way you can look at the documents, and if everything's ready for you, you can click, and digitally sign the documents, and boom, off that goes to Christo, and Christo signs it. So with that, that's everything that I've got to talk about. I want to bring Christo back up on stage and Gabe back on stage and just say, what a great day. Saturday, I appreciate so many people on here. Did I cover everything? Is everyone clear? Any questions?
Yeah, man, I want to go to the Masters. Yeah, so that's our big goal, is we want to have this closed out in the next month. This is Christmas for golfers, is the springtime. And if we can get this in front of people starting as soon as possible, I think we're going to be able to change the world of golf forever and make the game easier for golfers all around the world. And I'm just honored that God blessed me with this opportunity to go on this journey. I mean, who would have ever guessed that I'd go from being a 90s golfer to sitting in Jack Nicklaus's house on his couch, you know? And I'm telling you, it's only getting better. When you start to find out the things that are coming down the pike for the Miracle Swing, it will literally blow your mind. It's really incredible stuff, but I am so honored that you've been on this journey with me. Gabe, thank you for reaching out to me to let me know that you felt that I really had something potentially valuable, and then to bring Greg on board. Greg, I'm the luckiest guy in the world to have somebody with your experience, because I could have kept spinning my wheels just bootstrapping this forever, and I didn't understand how you scaled a business. It's just not my genius. I don't know about that, but I sure know about helping people play better golf and making videos. So pretty good at that.
No, I appreciate that. That's awesome. And because we're streaming a few places, I see some questions coming in. I see a question that says, can we invest from our IRA or 401k? So you can invest from your IRA or your 401k as long as you move those funds into a self-directed IRA or 401k plan. And if you're not familiar with that, there are these custodians out there where you can, move your money from one custodian to another, and they allow you to self-direct, meaning you're going to tell, hey, I want my money to invest here, and then you're investing in that entity. And we have a lot of people that do that. And if you already have a self-directed IRA, a lot of people do, because they do real estate that way. But if you don't, we can refer you to a couple guys that have been around and they manage billions of dollars, and you can invest from an IRA or a 401k and put that money to work for you and get some extra tax benefits to that. Okay, do we have any other questions here? And so what is the minimum investment? I see that question. The minimum investment is $10,000, and the best scenario would be to do that in increments of $10,000, because it's a $10,000 unit. But if you did want to do 25, we did have one guy that wanted to do 25, that's okay too. And it's a limited liability company. So you're going to get your forms at the end of each year for that flows to pass through to you, and you're going to get your distribution of profits, and you'll get the tax benefits of that as well if there is any. Okay, do you guys see any other questions? Am I missing anything?
I think we've got it pretty much covered. I don't see any other ones. Gabe, do you have anything to add?
No, it's just been an incredible journey. I've known Krista for 8 or 9 years now from the golf YouTube world, and it's been cool to see this company and this brand and this movement grow and expand. And this next year is going to be a great year. And for all those people who are watching right now, Krista is a great explorer. He's a great discoverer, and you discover things, Krista, that no one else uncovers, in my opinion. So we have a great product. We have a great story. We have a great, attractive character, Christo, leading the way, who can create incredible content. And so we're just sharing it to more people. And that's all we're doing. We're just getting it out to more people. It's already proven to work. It's already proven to get sales. So we're just scaling it. We're just sharing it to more people and growing the movement.
Yeah, I think the concept is pretty easy to grasp. I'm so happy that organically I've been able to do what I've been able to do. But I'll tell you something, with you guys on board, I know that we can 10x, 20x this company. And what I want to do is I want to make a Miracle Swing movie. I think that'd be the best commercial ever. In fact, the storyline of Jack Dagger is a pretty good one that is actually encapsulates that story. But okay, so Albert, I just tuned in and would like to invest. How do I learn your swing before I know I want to invest? Well, you can go to miracleswingexperience.com and pick up the 7 sacred steps. Become a customer and let me know what you think. If you want to email me with any questions, I'd be able to help you on your golfing journey. And it's simply the easiest and best way to hit a golf ball. There's a lot of madness out there, and we've got to stop the madness.
Hey, Christo, I remember on the last call, somebody asked about, hey, if I invest, do I get to come to a Miracle Swing experience? So can you talk a little bit about that and some of the benefits that we, it's like some of these benefits we have outlined, but some of the benefits that we want to give all investors because they're going on the ride with us.
Hey, anybody that is going to invest in my company is welcome to come to a free intensive with me or Miracle Swing experience where we do a weekend golf school. I go through the 7 sacred steps. You'll have it by lunchtime. Like it's that simple a system to get your hands on. Just like in that testimonial video, that was before lunch on the first day. Guys are like, oh my God, OTT, I can't believe it. I'm swinging 20 miles an hour faster. I've never hit the golf ball like this. That's because there's a lot of swing confusion out there. And the Miracle Swing is going to clear that up. So if you become an investor, you're a part of the team and you're welcome to come to a personal Miracle Swing experience where I will teach you the golf swing step by step.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'll be there too. I'm going to be getting my OTT straightened out. And Albert, thank you for that comment and that question. And again, just get that link that we put in the comment. Make sure you can see that link in the comment, miracleswing.golf//indication. Just fill out that form and you'll get the documents. You can start reviewing those documents. And again, it is our goal to close this out in the next 30, 45 days. And it could be sooner. Somebody could pop in and go, I want to put 200, 300,000 in. So it's first come, first serve. We're going to take it based on the indication of interest. Whoever fills out the form first, we're going to take it on that level. And if you say, hey, I want to put in 10, that's great, right? So we want to accommodate you. We want to make sure it's right for your portfolio. We will call you, both Christo and I. You reach out to us. You can talk to us. Christo more on the vision and the business side. Me on more of the investment and the structure and the legal aspects of that, and any digital marketing stuff as well. So, and then we're gonna shower you as time goes on with different things. As we went to the PGA show together, Christo and I, and you would be amazed how many people bump into Christo and know him and do things with him. And like with Squares Golf, I'm almost positive that he can get some discount codes for Squares Golf if he wanted to buy some of those Squares shoes. Right. And those are the kind of things that as shareholders, you're going to keep getting benefits and perks. And we ran back into the guys that do the Ben Hogan golf clubs. And so, there's all kinds of potential benefits that you becoming a shareholder, you're going to get as well as a customer, not to mention being a customer.
Fantastic. Well, guys, I can't thank you for joining me this morning. I thought it was a wonderful time to get to share with you my dream, my vision. It means the world to me, guys, that you've come on this journey with me this far. And if you're a potential investor, it's just going to get bigger and better. We're going to scale this up 10, 20 times over. And the rest is going to be history. I'd love for you to be a part of my vision. We're going to change the world of golf for the better. And my goodness, I just hope you guys hit them long and hit them straight. Do you have anything else to add, guys?
No, I think I'm good. I did see one quick question from Tech Reef. He said, will you have an FAQ page somewhere? We might have a FAQ page about the product, but we're not doing an FAQ page about this offering and this investment opportunity. You're just welcome to call us and we'll talk to you and answer all your questions.
Excellent.
That's everything I have to say. Thanks, Christo. I'm so proud and glad that the Gabe and you guys brought me in to be a part of this because we're making history. Like we're literally making history, and Miracle Swing is going to be a brand that people know around the globe and synonymous with my game got better.
Man, I was just talking to one of our investors from India yesterday, and he told me he's been following for years. And he's like, I've been to the biggest names in golf. You're the only person that actually helped me. They all made me worse. And it's because this is based on a natural motion that people want to do naturally. It's just easier. And that's why amateurs and kids all swing over the top. It's because they instinctually know this is the way to leverage the club. You just need to know how to do it the right way, and you can play the best golf of your life. So, guys, thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Greg. I guess we'll call it an end to this one. And until next time, guys, I love you, and I hope you hit them long and hit them straight.
Have a blessed day, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.